Welcome to this new moon reading, this time for the annular solar eclipse, also a new moon in Aquarius that is happening on February 17th at 12 noon and 1 minute Universal Time. My name is Dounia Safouane, and I'll be guiding you through this reading today. This moon is an eclipse, actually, is a very powerful moment. It's a threshold on many levels, and we will go into that in a moment. Before that, I want to share with you an important update. After 3 years of offering these alignments, readings, meditations, twice a month for every new moon and every full moon, I am evolving the format. I've announced that at the beginning of the year, and there is no better time to make the change than for this eclipse and new moon in Aquarius. So this is what's going to happen. From now on, the meditation will no longer be here on YouTube. It will be a live gathering inside the Lighthouse, the community space that I'm hosting. And it will be held on the day of the moon phase, full moon or new moon, or very close to it, depending on what time the moon happens. Sometimes it happens at 4 a.m. in the morning or something. So, it will be a day before or on the same day. That's for one. The readings will remain public. They will remain accessible for everyone here on YouTube, but the alignment, the shared field, the deeper work will move now into this private space with a form that will allow us to interact. This is what I want to implement, is to open a space where we can interact together and exchange around the energy of this moon. We are entering a new cycle, definitely, and you know that I've been talking about that for a while. This eclipse marks really like a door opening. There's other events that I'll go through that are happening in the astrology that signal as well this new cycle. And, in keeping and in harmony with this, everything that is new that is happening right now, this format is changing as well. So on the 17th, the meditation will be free. This date also marks the official opening of the Lighthouse. Those who are already part of this community know that it's been quietly functioning for years now on different platforms, but for sure for years. And but the official opening will be on the 17th. So I'll be very, very happy to have you there to help me open this space. And also to hold hands with this meditation during this eclipse. So in 2 words, what is this Lighthouse? I see it as an intimate gathering space where we work with the lunar cycles together and the energy that we are going through together. So it's a place to walk our path of evolution together. And I will be giving more details soon exactly about how it works and what's going to be available in that space. If you want to join, I will leave the link in the description and you can just sign up and you'll get the link to join the meditation. It will be held in 2 languages, in French and English at 2 different times. So that's the big news for this new cycle that is opening. And I'm very, very happy to open this space to a wider audience. And I'm very happy that we can have deeper conversations in private, safe settings. And I really hope to see you there. Now, let's look at this eclipse and see what it's bringing with it. So this annular solar eclipse, annular means it's like a ring, so the sun will be hidden by the moon, leaving just a ring of light around the moon. And it happens during a new moon, as I said, new moon in Aquarius. Sun and moon are in Aquarius together. And it's like it has the power of a super new moon. So super new beginning. this moon also marks the Chinese New Year. It will be the year of the fire horse, which happens every 60 years. So it's the same for every combination between an animal and an element. So there's 12 animals and 5 elements, which means every single combination comes around every 60 years. Okay, yes, it's a long time, but it is regular and it's the same for every combination. What's interesting about the Chinese New Year and being a fire horse, it's because it's a double fire. The horse in Chinese culture is the strongest archetype of fire. So the fact that it's fire and horse makes it that there's a lot of fire energy. And what does that mean? It means there's a lot of movement, a lot of acceleration, a lot of escalation potentially, unpredictability, desire for freedom, to run free really like a horse. So yes, it's promising to be very accelerated and very active. And we'll see that other things in the astrology support that a lot. It's interesting in 2 ways to know about the fire horse. For one, for the opening, for the freedom, for the energy, for the power that it gives us to move forward. Absolutely fantastic. But also for us to keep in mind to stay grounded, to stay, to not allow, the frenzy to overwhelm us. So, to stay aware and to remain aware that we need to kind of stay calm and pace our progress as well. So how is that supported by the rest of the astrology? First of all, there's a big change in the dynamics of the planet. Neptune has moved into Aries, and so did Saturn, and they will move in 3 days, 3 days after this eclipse, to meet in the first degree of the zodiac. I've spoken about that many, many times. I'm not the only one speaking about this. This is the big, big, big expected event, and it's happening on the 20th of February. What does that mean? It means that everything that has been gestating, dissolving, being dreamt of, being imagined, now is the moment to materialize it, to put it into matter. The dream, Neptune, we have conceived of this new reality. That's Neptune. And it will be together. It is already together, but it will be exact 3 days after this eclipse at the 0 degree of the zodiac, the first degree of the entire zodiac of Aries. Saturn helping us to materialize and bring that dream into reality. This is another signal, huge signal of new beginnings. So definitely this is the moon of beginnings, of change, of metamorphosis, and we'll look at the details in a moment. So Sun and Moon are in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of truth, of the higher mind, the ability to let go of the lower mind and allow ourselves to be inspired by the divine. Aquarius is the sign of brotherhood, fraternity. It's points us towards our family of frequency. And also it's inviting us, and it invites us in general as an archetype to take our spot in the greatest mesh, in the greatest network that we can form all together. I spoke about that in transmission that I published on my website. I'll leave the link here so that you understand what does that mean to take your spot in that great mesh. Aquarius speaks about vibration, and more specifically, it's the archetype that tells us that we create as we speak. It tells us that vibration is what creates. So keep that in mind, because the age that we're entering, this is one of the major keys that we need to master in order to navigate the age of Aquarius properly. It's the sign of innovation, of breakthrough ideas, of sudden changes. It is ruled by Uranus, that is currently at the end of Taurus, and that will move out from Taurus in a few months. Its mantra is, I know. And I want to talk to you as well about its shadow side, which can be disconnection, detachment, because of its sense of independence and its ability to connect to mind. So sometimes it can stay in its own mind. One of the shadow or the negative expressions of Aquarius can be rebellious, a rebellion without a cause, without a purpose. So beware of that. And as I said, to be too much in one's head. Again, remember, I'm not speaking about people who have their sun in Aquarius or anything. I'm speaking about the archetype as a whole. Of course, this has a very, very different expression for every single one of us. So what are the major themes for this moon and this eclipse? Actually, there's a few keywords that I want to share with you, and then I'll go into the detail. Change is definitely a keyword. Responsibility is definitely a keyword. Future and collective are definitely keywords for that, and we'll see how they get together to form the energy of this eclipse. So clearly, you've seen it, new moon, eclipse, New Year, Chinese New Year. We're talking about big new beginnings individually and collectively. These changes are massive, sudden, and can be unexpected. So be prepared for anything sudden, unexpected, and predictable. Be ready for that. And it's important that we learn to absorb these unexpected changes. What this moon tells us as well is that the new is created with a higher sense of consciousness. This is Neptune in Aries. So we need to match that vibration to elevate our own sense of consciousness in order to flow harmoniously with the energies that we are entering into. Other important piece of information, the new is created with a sense of balance of polarities. Mars and Venus are still escorting the Sun in a conjunction, as in they are close enough so that their energy is still very, is impacting this new moon. And you remember, this configuration has been running since the full moon in Gemini at the beginning of December. It's like really these two aspects, these two polarities that are escorting the Sun. They're really like two guards that are going with the Sun and going through the zodiac. And this is still very strong. It's probably the last moon phase where we're going to know that, because then the conjunction will, the closeness they won't be close enough, to be conjunct. But for now, they are still conjunct. What does that mean? That Sun and Mars and Venus are accompanying this eclipse? Well, obviously, one thing that it signals clearly is that the balance of polarities, like I said earlier. The other thing is Venus is conjunct the North Node in Pisces. So this is clearly putting an emphasis on the divine feminine, that the North Node is our collective destiny, the direction in which we are moving collectively, and the fact that it's here in Pisces, conjunct Venus, clearly points towards a rebalance of the divine feminine. So clearly keep that in mind. But also we can look at it in a different way as that's the negative polarity, right? Between Mars masculine and Venus feminine. Mars would be the yang and Venus will be the yin. By the way, the fire horse year is definitely a super yang, super active, super masculine type of year. But going back to this balance between polarities, the fact that Venus is highlighted here points us towards the yin, the internal, the going inwards, this listening, the silence as the place of birth of the new and of a balanced action. I can't insist enough on our ability to find silence and to find a place where we can be quiet so that we can listen. I'm sure I'll keep repeating that in different forms, and I have said it already in different ways, but it is absolutely key, especially in the moment that we are going through collectively right now. You look at the news and you'll understand why it's so important to find silence. But even more than that, we can't create in the middle of noise. We must learn to create silence so that we can create from a place of truth, from a place of balance, from a place of equilibrium, from a place where we can have access to our own divinity. So I really encourage you to learn how to find that place. There's many ways. We can talk about these in the Lighthouse, or you can comment and I can give you tips, etc. But this is very, very important. Another very important thing to have in mind for this moon is that vibration is the key in the era that is opening. Vibration is truth. And why is vibration the truth? Because vibration cannot be distorted. Words kind of reduce concepts. They reduce our ideas. It's not a bad thing or anything. They are limiting. Vibration keeps the information of what we think, what we are, what we do completely intact. So that's why it's related to truth. That's why it's a reflection of truth, rather. And remember, vibration is how we create. Vibration is what keeps the cosmos in order. So what does that tell us altogether? Is that our vibration is our responsibility towards ourselves to express our truth, but also towards the collective, the place where we take our role as we are meant to do it in this age of Aquarius. So mastering our vibration is the way to express fully who we are, fully our abilities, our potentials, our qualities, our attributes, everything that is unique about us, and at the same time to put that in the world, in the big network that we form all together. I hope you understand how important it is. And in this age of Aquarius, the trinity of frequency, energy, matter, which is like the sequence of creation from the vibration, the word, into manifestation, this is what we need to learn. This is what we need to train for. And these are the keys. This trinity is the key that we need to learn. Before I close this reading, I want to talk to you about a recent discovery that was made literally a few days ago as I'm recording this. A new vibration is coming from the galactic center, which is sextile to this eclipse, actually, which is connected in a very positive and, let's say, fluid connection to this eclipse and to this new moon. Scientists have just discovered a pulsar. A pulsar is the vibration of a star that emits a beam like a cosmic lighthouse that pulsates, it's like a heartbeat that pulsates every period. It can be milliseconds or seconds. This one, I think, is a very, very, very tiny fraction of a second. And so they are studying it right now because it's been days that it's been discovered. And this will allow to test the theory of relativity. And if, it proves what scientists suspect that what it is, it might open doors for completely new physics. So I find it very, very interesting and a very nice wink from the universe for this solar eclipse in Aquarius. Obviously, Aquarius is related to the out there, to the galactic, to the cosmic world, way beyond our Earth. That it's the the archetype that is mostly related to the out there. And from the out there, we are receiving from actually the center of our galaxy. This is what is absolutely beautiful. So from the heart, from the center of our galaxy is a big, big, big black hole. And from that black hole, we are receiving a new vibration from there. So you can read it the way you want, but I just find at least that it's a very, very nice synchronicity that in this very significant moon phase, we're receiving that kind of signal. I want to finish this reading with the Sabian symbol that illustrates this moon. I remember Sabian symbols have been, let's say, are symbols channeled by a person named Dane Rudyard. And for every degree of the zodiac, wherever the moon touches that degree, a specific symbol is highlighted. And for this degree, where we have the moon, which is, let me remember, 28 degrees and 50 minutes, we are literally at the very end of Aquarius. The symbol is a butterfly emerges from a chrysalis. A butterfly emerges from a chrysalis. And I find that extremely accurate or matching exactly the moment that we're experiencing right now, because this speaks of a complete state of being. It's a different state of being from a chrysalis to butterfly. The form is different, everything is different between chrysalis and butterfly. Clearly, the vibration is different. But this is the level of change and new beginnings that we are experimenting right now. Remember, for those who are already in the Lighthouse, in the manifesto of the Lighthouse, I wrote this piece about imaginal cells, which actually are part of the process of from caterpillar to butterfly. And those imaginal cells are the ones that contain the information of the butterfly while being in the caterpillar. And these imaginal cells are like the pioneers of the change. And when the time comes for the transformation and the metamorphosis to happen, they start multiplying, and the other cells try to destroy them. And when the imaginal cells reach a certain number, enough to take over the system, then the metamorphosis and the change starts to happen. And yeah, I guess we are in that process. Yeah, it's perfectly illustrated by this moon. I want to give credit for the imaginal cells, for the inspiration to Pam Gregory, astrologer that I really like and follow. So this is perfect illustration of this time at this moment. So how do we work with this moon? First of all, get used to work with silence. Find a way to reach moments of silence. Your breath is the best tool that you have to reach a point of silence. You can do box breath, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 inhales, hold your breath on 4, exhale on 4, and hold your breath on 4, or you can do it on a cycle of 3, inhaling on 4, holding on 4, and exhaling on 4, and repeating the cycle. There's many, many, many ways to do it, but these are just a few examples. But clearly, that's one of the easiest way to reach a moment of silence. The second key that I would recommend to work with is to take radical responsibility for your vibration. This is a great moment to do that. And what does that mean? It means that we need to learn and start to learn to watch our vibration? What are we emanating at any moment? And one way to keep ourselves in check is to ask ourselves every now and then, until it becomes something natural and constant, is the vibration that I am in right now, if it was to spread to the world and shape it, is that something that I would want? Typically, if you're feeling sad or angry or having difficult emotions, when you catch yourself having those emotions, just ask yourself, like, would I want to live in a world of anger, sadness, etc.? Beware, it doesn't mean that we should not feel those things, that we should not feel those negative emotions. They are necessary for us to move forward, to progress, to do our work, and to just, that's how we receive the world sometimes. So it's absolutely not about suppressing those emotions. What is dangerous is when we identify with those emotions, when we think that that's all that we are. It's very different to get swamped into anger, into sadness, into despair, and to hold space to allow ourselves to feel the anger that we need to feel, or the sadness that we need to feel at any moment. It's very, very different. And it's very sacred and wonderful to be able to hold space for ourselves when we feel those emotions, as long as we don't identify with them. When we identify with them, this is when our vibration starts to bleed out and to shape the world around us. I hope this has been useful for you. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful eclipse and new moon in Aquarius, a wonderful new beginning, a wonderful metamorphosis, a wonderful change. And I will see you, hopefully, on the 17th for a live meditation. Thank you very much. Bye for now.